I welcome you all with my love and respects. Thank you for the introduction and inviting me. But the last statement is a little controversial. People ask me, this "Are you God?" question is the question from time immemorial. All the masters are asked. This question is a very tricky question. Whenever people ask me, "Are you God?" I again and again tell them, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God. So, whether I am or not is no way directly related to your life. But one thing is sure, we are all, everybody carries that glimpse, carries that truth inside us. We heard in the introduction about the Kabir's verses, beautiful verses. When you are awakened, we really feel we are God. It's not egoistic statement. Please understand. It is not egoistic feeling. Being focused is the side effect of dynamic consciousness. Being focused in the world does not mean that this is the only reality. In the dynamic consciousness, you will have your inner space experiencing this world intensely focused. At the same time, you will be experiencing the truth which is beyond this world, what we call God or divinity or whatever it is. I'll try to share few truths, satyas. We will analyze it with our questions. We'll try to internalize it by questioning. Then we may be able to enter into a meditation technique to experience the truth. First few things I want to present in front of you. The Satya. In Vedanta we have 3 steps. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Shravana means listening. Manana means contemplating or questioning, internalizing. Nididhyasana means living it, expressing it. Few basic truths. We carry 2 identities. One, the identity which we project to the outer world, how we want the world to know, how we want to present ourselves to the world, how we want the world to remember us. We call this in the word ahankar. Second, mamakar, the identity which we believe as we inside our heart. The identity which we want to project to the outer world and the identity which we believe as we inside us. This we call mamakar. The whole life is nothing but the fight between this ahankar and mamakar. The identity which we want to project to the outer world and the identity which we believe as we. The big problem is people who think the identity which we want to project to the outer world is the reality, they become materialistic. They spend their whole life to fulfill that identity, to make that identity into reality, to make that personality into reality. I think in your profession you will see this kind of people enough. The people who want to prove the outer world identity as a reality. The second group, people who start believing the identity which they believe inside as reality, they only became, I can say that, kind of a religious people or yogis, constantly chiseling themselves, constantly trying to develop themselves. The identity which you project to the outer world will be always much more than what you are. It will always be much more than what you are. You will try always to project something more than what is. And the identity you believe as you in the inner world will always be lower than what you are. You will all continuously condemning, criticizing, judging you. It will always be much lower than what you are. One group who believes the identity which you project to the outer world, the ahankar, they become materialistic. The other group who believe the mamakar, the identity which you believe as you, that as a reality, that people, they become kind of a religious people, or we can say that yogis, continuously chiseling themselves, continuously working on themselves, continuously trying to develop themselves. Very few realize the truth. Neither the identity which you project to the outer world is a reality, nor the identity which you believe as you is reality. People who realize both are not reality, both have no base, they experience the true liberation. I call them as Paramahamsas, or people who live enlightenment. Please understand, people who seek enlightenment never live enlightenment. Seeking enlightenment is completely different from living enlightenment. Seeking enlightenment means continuously trying to chisel that the mamakar, the identity which you believe as you in the inner being, trying to develop it. I have seen people working on their personality for 30 years or 40 years, repeating some mantra or some technique or some method or some reading or some form of spiritual exercises or the self-development techniques, some form. See, in the spiritual exercises there are two things. Portable knowledge, which gives you kind of a feel-good feeling, which is used in the modern days in the training seminars and self-development programs. Now, thousands of kinds of yoga, self-development programs have come up. In US, yoga is a $6 billion industry. I was surprised. $6 billion industry in US, yoga. Because the portable knowledge can be easily packed and sold. The self-development techniques. There is another one, the second part, non-portable experience. Yoga is not just replacing anasana or metasana. The meditation is not just to replace your antidepressant medications. It has its own depth. It is much deeper than physical and mental well-being. It has its depth. That depth only I call as non-portable experience. See, the first group never bothers about spirituality, the materialistic group. People who believe only the ahankar as reality. The second group, who believe as mamakar as reality, they go on using continuously some methods, techniques. I call that as a portable knowledge. Of course, this gives you a feel-good feeling. It really gives you a feel-good feeling for 2 days. If you do some kind of kriya or pranayama or yoga and all these things, wonderful, nothing wrong. It gives you a feel-good feeling for a few days. But I feel the spirituality, the traditional knowledge, research and development which went on in this country for last 10,000 years in the inner science can contribute something more than feel-good feeling to you. Please understand, I am not against yoga or pranayama or all these things. These are all beautiful, but we have something much more which can contribute more to your being than a simple feel-good feeling. At least last 10,000 years in India, the research in the inner science went on. You can say millions of inner scientists and at least 1 crore inner science laboratories we have in India, more than 1 crore living ashrams and temples where this science is continuously practiced by at least 1 billion people. So this great technology, this great tradition has something deeper, more sacred to offer to us. It has something more for us. Understanding that ahankar is illusion is very easy because it is something to do with the outer world. You have to struggle. The moment you need to struggle to show what you want to show, you realize or you have the time and experiences to contemplate, sit and contemplate. I think what I am trying to project is never going to be fulfilled, or it is never going to become reality. At some time, you will have the time or the experiences to contemplate, to look in. But if you start fighting with your mamakar, if you start chiseling your mamakar, start developing your mamakar, there is nobody to tell you that you are caught same race in the different direction. Trying to develop the identity which you show to the outer world and trying to develop the identity which you believe as you, both are going to end in deep suffering. Because both does not have base. Neither ahankar nor mamakar have a base. The moment you understand, this two does not have any base, this two does not have hold over your inner space, suddenly you experience such a great freedom, the liberation, or the restful awareness, what J. Krishnamurti calls as choiceless awareness. That awareness is the real gift from our tradition, from our great Vedantic tradition, the research and development which went on in the inner science. I can say this is the essence. First thing, both identities which you carry don't have base, they are not real. Second thing, how to go beyond these two? Because the moment you come out of your sleep until the moment you fall into the dream state, continuously these two identities have a hold, have a say over you, have an influence over your being. How to unclutch from them? This is the word again and again we will be using, the word unclutch. Just like how you change the gears in the car. See, before changing any gear, you will have to unclutch. You will have to disclutch. Only whether it's from first gear to second gear or second gear to third gear or any movement, you will have to completely disclutch or unclutch from the movement. Same way, any state you fall, from waking state to dream state or dream state to deep sleep state, any state you move within your inner space, you will have to unclutch. You will have to come to that zero zone. You will have to come to that neutral zone. You will have to come to that center space. I can say that center space which is continuously happening in you without you involving. If you can experience that center space with your awareness, suddenly you will see what I am calling as freedom as an experience. What I am saying as freedom means free from these two identities. In North, I have seen in the forest, in North India, forests, they hang a small stick to catch birds. Please bear with me. Visualize this as a thread. Like this, I have seen small sticks will be hanging in the forest. The hunters will put these sticks to trap the bird. You may think that how bird will be caught by this small thing. The birds will come and sit in one side. The moment it sits, because of the weight, it will become topsy-turvy, upside down. And the moment the stick is upside down, the bird will be hanging. The poor bird does not understand if he lets go, he can fly. He thinks if he relaxes, he will fall and break his head. And he will be continuously hanging. Maybe for 2-3 hours, the hunter will slowly come and catch the bird and put it in the cage and go. Just like that bird, we also have the deep fear. The moment we let go I and mine, the ahankar and mamakar, we may become mentally imbalanced or we may not be able to run our day-to-day routine. This is the first fear. Continuously people ask me, Swamiji, you say relax from the identity, the two identities, the outer identity and the inner identity. You say relax from it. If we relax, how will we be able to manage our day-to-day routine? How we can think? How we can live our life? There is no reference, there is no record. Some bird relaxed and fell and broke its head. No. Just like that bird hanging with the stick, we hold on to our identity tightly, continuously, because our identity is our security. That is our security. Whether in the outer world or in the inner world, that is our boundary. That is our security. The big problem is, for security reason only we hold on to the identity in the initial level. But slowly, that boundary is practically like a boundary made for our bliss, our joy, our expression, our intense excitement. The boundary which we create as a security, that itself becomes a bondage or the prison for our joy, for our very being. All that bird needs is little courage to let go. Maybe the 2-3 seconds till that bird turns up and balances. It may have little chaos. It may have little difficulties. The courage to manage that 2-3 minutes is what I call tapas. That is what is tapas. That is what is penance. All we need to know, the identity which we project to the outer world and the identity which we believe as both has no base. Second, trying to relax. You see, when you understand that both have no base, both have no direct use to your life, it does not directly contribute. You can play the game in a much better way without these two identities. The whole game which you are playing now, the whole life, your whole day-to-day routine can be handled, managed, lived without these two identities coming into play, or without these two identities being remembered in your inner space as you. If this possibility is understood, I call that as a right listening, shravana. And if you are continuously contemplating and trying to live this freedom, I call that as manana, contemplation. If you are established in that freedom, that's what we call nididhyasana, living enlightenment. Just these few truths, little strong, maybe the truths which I expressed is little strong, or a straight truth. Maybe when we analyze it with the questions, with the interaction, we may be able to understand or catch the glimpse of what I am trying to express. So instead of me continuously talking, I'll be happy to answer your questions. Whatever I wanted to express, when I answer, I'll try to share.
Emptiness. And prior to this emptiness is a kind of feeling of fear. Perhaps this is the bird hanging upside down. But how do you explain this emptiness? It's kind of
Frightening.
It's a kind of mask. It's a feeling of you begin to feel you're stupid.
I can say you get updated. Only when you get updated you begin to feel that you are stupid. You understand? Only when your intelligence gets updated, you feel that you are past. You see, whatever you think, nothing but you are past. So whenever you feel that you are stupid, you are nothing, you are nobody, means what you think as you, what you think about you, your past, that is become irrelevant. Your past will become irrelevant only if your present is intense. If you are getting updated, if you are becoming something beyond what you think as you, only then you feel your past or your old identity is stupid. I feel feeling continuously your past is stupid is the best way to be in the present. If you have a deep respect or dependence on your past, you will never be able to live in the present moment. So the experience which you are going through, I think is worthy. Maybe in the initial level it's little frightening. It's little frightening. See, one thing, we again and again get confused between learning from the past and continuously living in the past. Learning from the past happens only when you unclutch from your past experiences. When you unclutch from your past experiences, guilt, suffering, pain, the essence of your past experience, the teachings which you need to receive from your past experience will become part of your being. When we are continuously clutched to the past, only the pain, suffering, guilt will be reflecting on our being. We will never pick up the lessons or we will never pick up the juice from the past.
Our careers and profession that we follow. Now, as you experience this emptiness, this feeling of utter stupidity, like there comes a time when you even feel like I'm speaking to you. There's a voice telling me inside there's no need to speak, because the truth is here and now and in silence. It's not the words.
Yes.
There's a voice that tells you that. Now I have reconciled that with my workaday life. When I have to be a certain, I have to project a certain person. That person is not me. I know I am not that person. Rather, I am witnessing that person.
Two things. One, you know you are not the person you are projecting. But you think you are the person whom you think as you.
Yes.
That is what I am saying. Mamakar is also a lie. You understand? Mamakar is also a lie. Now, unclutch from that being also, you will not have a struggle. See, struggle is between ahankar and mamakar. Either mamakar is working to project, make the ahankar reality, or the ahankar continuously criticizing the mamakar is not reality. In your case, mamakar is not working to fulfill the ahankar, but ahankar is continuously criticizing you are not reality. That is where the problem starts. No, witnessing state is not mamakar. Witnessing state is beyond this both.
Swamiji, there's times when you feel that the work is being done to you, that you're a puppet. And that
I can say even that idea is nothing from mamakar. When you are beyond this ahankar and mamakar, neither you have an idea somebody is working through you, nor you have an idea that you are working. Both the ideas will not be there. People ask me, how do you know you are enlightened? I tell them, first thing, the doubt whether I am enlightened or not has disappeared. Second thing, the idea I am enlightened is not there. Both will not be there. Neither you will have the doubt whether you are enlightened or not, nor you will have the doubt, nor you will have an idea that you are enlightened. You see, with your case, the moment you have an idea somebody is working through you, it's mamakar. Mamakar playing the game. Actually, the ahankar's game, you will again and again reminded because the society will remind you. The mamakar's game, nobody will remind you. That is the most dangerous game. The most dangerous game is mamakar. I can say, if I have to say based on the percentage, only 10% of the people in the planet Earth suffer with the games of ahankar. 90% of the people suffer with the games of mamakar, especially in India. The religious country, India is a great religious country. Whether you want or not, from the young age, you have to listen. Rama went to the forest, Ravana kidnapped Sita. You have to listen. It's your life. Ramayana and Mahabharata and all these religious scriptures. Here, our suffering is more mamakar, not even ahankar. It's more with the mamakar, trying to continuously chisel you and trying to continuously develop the personality which is not there.
There, will it not be, there's a cessation of activity itself?
No. That is the main thing. See, being focused will be the side effect of dynamic consciousness. The side effect of the dynamic consciousness will never be laziness. People ask me, No, 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 if I just unclutch from both identities, will I not become lazy? I tell them, just sleep for 10 days. Nothing wrong. Have vacation for 10 days. Decide, I am going to unclutch. I am going to unclutch from both the identities. How many days you think you can sleep? How many days you think that a cessation of activity will happen in you? You have kind of a, you see, 33% of your body is sattva, pure silence. 33% of your body is rajas, restlessness. 33% of your body is tamas, deep sleep, the laziness. As on now, the first fear which will happen in you, I may become tamasic. I may become lazy person. Try to unclutch. That 33% of the laziness will be exhausted. It will disappear from your system within few days. Then what will you do? Then naturally, your innate intelligence, you don't have to be driven by fear and greed to live your day-to-day life. Maybe in the young age, some fear and greed is needed to drive your life. But now, the maturity means being driven by inspiration. But the problem is, we are never given that confidence. We are never given that courage. We can live just by inspiration. We always think either there should be fear and greed or I'll become lazy. It is not the case. It is not the case. We call in Sanskrit prarabdha. Prarabdha means the karma or the desires with which you built your body. See, your very body is built with certain desires, karma, the desire or need to have certain experiences. That prarabdha is powerful and intelligent enough to inspire you and to run your life. Sometimes you can see, for no reason, you radiate the excitement. For no reason, you radiate intelligence. Those few moments can become your whole life. It doesn't need to be a part-time of your life. It can become your whole life. That trust, that's what I call bhakti. When you start trusting you that your prarabdha is intelligent enough to play your whole life, when you start understanding just by unclutching, your very being can run your life. That's what I call Atma Bhakti, the devotion, trust. Maybe in the initial level, first few days, what I call the tapas period, you may have a little imbalance. I feel it's worth undergoing. It's worth just few days, just rest, decide whatever happens, let it happen. Yes.